Welcome back to Scream House, where every return costs you more than the last. This is part 4, the point of no return. What was hidden is now awake, and the truth refuses to stay buried. Turn down the lights. Stay with the sound of my voice. And if you're enjoying the story so far, support the channel by liking the video and subscribing for the next chapter. Friday had finally come and gone, and the weekend was upon us, which for me meant no more school at least for 48 hours. Not that I didn't like school, but with Melissa and me not speaking, it just felt a little weird being there. Saturday morning had broken through and brought the radiance of the bright morning sun with it. Knock, knock. I was surprised to hear a knock at my bedroom door so early in the morning. "Hey, son. Your mother and I thought it would be nice to take a relaxing drive out to the lake. So, how about it? Throw on some swimwear and let's have ourselves some fun," my dad said as he stood halfway in my room with one hand on the doorknob. "Sure, why not?" I replied. What else was I going to do anyway? I sure didn't plan on sticking around the house moping all day. The drive to the lake was nice and quiet. Cars along the highway whizzed by as they started their mornings off with a Saturday drive. Once we arrived at the lake, I noticed it was nothing like the beaches in California. Nice, yes, but the sand itself was hot, and there were hard, pointy rocks that landscaped the entire shore surrounding the lake. But once you got used to it, it wasn't so bad. Mom and Dad lay out their blanket and cuddled along the shore, and that was my cue to leave. The last thing I wanted to see was my parents locking lips. "I'm going for a walk along the shore, be back soon," I said. "Okay, but don't go too far, sweetheart," Mom said, looking back over her shoulder at me as she lay in my dad's arms. Parents, I thought. I even almost felt better just seeing the two of them happy. I knew that this move had been just as hard on them as it was on me, so to see them getting some well-deserved rest, I guess you can say I was okay with that. I continued alongside the rocky beach. Young boys and girls around my age were slinging frisbees through the air, seeming not to have a trouble in the world. Other teens, much older than I, were out further in the lake, riding jet skis that were bouncing off the lake so fast, all you could see were the huge splashes coming from under them. There were BBQs and all sorts of good-smelling aromas coming from grills that families had set up along the beach. Actually, as I looked out amongst the people, all I saw was happiness and cheer. Then it kinda dawned on me out of nowhere. I was the only sad guy on the entire beach, or so it seemed. What a bummer. All these fun activities going on around me and all the excitement. But I couldn't feel one bit of it. My heart had no room for any more emotions. Sadness and confusion had taken up too much space, and all I was allowed to feel was the absence of joy. To be quite honest, my heart felt as pitch black as my father's morning coffee. As I walked further along the beach, passing a blue and white striped life raft that was slightly planted into the sand, two older ladies with wrinkled skin and cigarette ash color hair were sitting under two peach color umbrellas. I started to think of how much better life would have been if I'd just stayed in Temecula with all my old pals and old home and old school. I wondered how my life would be if I had never known Melissa, if I had never even heard of Henderson, and if I had never known such dark and evil things existed in the world outside of comic books. My life seemed so night and day when I compared Temecula to Henderson. There I was, known by a select group of cool friends, and we had each other's backs, and our only fear of being teens was because of our parents. We never in a million years would even think for one moment that being a teen made you a target to some bloodthirsty, flesh-hungry, crazed lunatic. Never. I thought so hard and long until my brain started to hurt. I'd better find a place to calm my nerves for a sec, I thought as I walked a little further until I was just far enough from the big crowds. I found a nice little, almost secluded spot on the beach, and I plopped down, only being semi-bothered by a couple of toddlers playing with their puppy, and 2, maybe 3 adults sitting a few feet away watching the toddlers and enjoying one another's conversation. I folded my legs up almost to my chest, holding them in place with my right hand and grabbing hold of my left wrist, wrinkling my swim shorts just a bit. The mist of loneliness was covering my emotions once again, and no matter how I tried to enjoy a day at the beach, the truth was, I just did not want to be there. Why pretend to be something I knew I wasn't, and the only thing I was feeling at that moment in time was down and out. I began to look around, and though my sight caught the movement of the people on the beach, it was almost like they were see-through because I paid them completely no attention. My mind's total and absolute focus was on the beast, Melissa, and back home. Yeah, home, Temecula. Oh, how I missed you. I wondered what the old gang was up to. I bet old Left Arm was somewhere fabricating the facts of some old story he'd heard. Truthfully, I missed Left Arm's stories. I must say that the kid did have a gift for mixing the right words together. Knowing tomboy Sandy, she was beating up bullies who were picking on Just, and old Pink Tea Melvin was probably right behind her with a brand new hot pink tea on, swearing up and down that it was burgundy. And if none of the gang spoke of me recently, I was positive at least one for sure wouldn't forget me, Billy. He was probably telling the gang right now of some adventure we'd had. Man, what am I going to do? You can't keep living in the past, Abe, I said out loud. But for some reason, when I thought about the old gang, things didn't seem so bad, even if it was only a temporary relief. It was so different there. We didn't abandon one another in the midst of trouble like Melissa abandoned me. We stuck it out and saw it through the way friends, true friends, were meant to do. As I gazed at the greenish-blue lake water, my mind thought back to a couple of years ago in the old neighborhood. Kids' bikes had begun to come up missing mysteriously. From one house to the next, from Diamondbacks to Ridge Runners to Huffies, from 10 to 12 speeds, it didn't matter. The better the bike or the older, it didn't matter. They were being taken by the dozens. It's funny how some things work. We all knew that poor, unlucky kids were having their bikes stolen from their sheds, backyards, and even some right in front of the school bike racks. But still, it didn't really move us until our bikes were stolen. Billy's, Left Arm Bobby's, Justin's, Melvin's, Tomboy Sandy's, and yep, even mine. This might sound a little crazy, but I loved that bike like a brother. Sure, it was just a bike, and I could have asked my parents to buy me another one, but that didn't make one bit of difference. Nope, not one speck. I can still remember how it glistened after a good wash. Just imagine 20 inches of pure metal and alloy genius, covered in the deepest navy blue you could find with gold trim running along the side. It had 72-inch spokes and 4 freestyle pegs that made me look like a pretty bad buoy. Mongoose it was, and every kid in my neighborhood had their eye on it. I had gotten it for my birthday, and to be honest, I boasted and bragged up and down the streets and sidewalks, and when I wasn't verbally bragging, I made sure to pick up the slack in how I popped wheelies and jumped curbs. I could almost hear Steppenwolf himself singing in my ear every time I raised the garage door and laced on the gloves my mother had bought along with the blue and gold mongoose. I would throw one leg over my two-tone seat and grip the ends of the handlebars and just sit for a while. That's when I would hear it rumbling in my ears. Get your motor running, head out on the highway looking for adventure, and whatever comes our way, like a true nature's child. We were born to be wild. We can climb so high I never want to die. Born to be wheeled, born to be wheeled. I love that bike, and I guess I didn't know just how bad I really did love it until one Saturday morning. I went to the garage to grab it for a quick ride up to Billy's house. He had missed a few days of school on account that he was really sick, the flu or something like that. Anyway, I was headed over to give him the 3 days of homework and missed assignments he'd thought he skipped out on. But much to my surprise, my mongoose was gone. I looked around the family car to see if it was on the other side of the garage, the backyard. Before you get carried away, check the backyard, I thought to myself in a slight panic. I rushed out of the garage, bursting through the door in a frightening hurry. Please be there, you just have to be, I said as I opened the back sliding door, looking to the left and the right. I had to face a cruel and unexpected reality. Someone stole my bike. I was suddenly enraged with a fierce anger, and I wished I were the commander of a military firing squad, and I wished that the bozos who did this horrible thing to me were in front of my mighty firing squad. My wrath was unspeakable and real. It was hard to contain this bitter feeling of being violated. Then it dawned on me, the night before, I was too tired to put my bike into the garage, and I thought it would be perfectly safe in my backyard. Honestly, who has the nerve to be so bold and not only trespass, but steal from an 11-year-old kid? My anger was then turned into sadness, and all I could do next was tell my parents how stupid I was to leave my bike outside for the night. Well, son, these things happen. They're awful things, but they do happen, don't worry. Your mom and I will get you another when we can, okay? My dad said while he was reading the morning paper. Okay, Dad, that's all I could say. I mean, what else can you say? I'm going to walk to Billy's house to give him his homework. Be back soon. I walked towards Billy's home, homework in hand, with a frown on my face that said, "When I find out who stole my mongoose, you're dead." The bright Saturday sun was beaming off my forehead, causing me to frown even more. "Hey, Abe, stop! Wait up, will ya?" Tomboy Sandy yelled from behind me. "Why are you in such a rush?" she asked. I didn't even turn around. "They got me," I replied. "What do you mean they got you? Who are they, and how did they get you?" she asked in her smash-em-up attitude. "They stole my mongoose, Sandy," I answered bitterly. "What? Okay, I've had enough of this. Somebody's gonna catch a beat up from the feet up," she said as she slammed her right fist into her left palm, then grinding it. "Listen, I have to get this homework over to Billy. I need you to round up the gang and meet me back at my clubhouse in an hour. We have to stop these bike-snatching creeps now," I stated. "No problem. In 1 hour, we'll be there." Once I got to Billy's home, I explained to him what happened. I was so angry, it didn't even cross my mind to give the germ-infested, stuffed-nosed kid his homework. "That's bad. Real bad, Abe. I'm sorry, man." "Ah, what do you have to be sorry for? You didn't do it, Billy," I replied. "Hey, so the gang is going to get together at my clubhouse in a bit. I'll tell them that you wish you were able to make it, okay?" "Thanks, pal. Oh, and Abe, get those creepazoids for and all the kids in the neighborhood," Billy said as I walked away from his front door. I told Billy that he could count on me and the gang putting a permanent stop to those bike snatchers. I only wished that I were as sure as the statement was. Truth was, no one knew who and how many kids were stealing our bikes, or if they were kids at all. An hour had passed, and after the gang had finally stopped talking over each other, I was finally able to get a little order. "Hey guys, hey! Come on guys, enough!" I yelled, trying to get their attention. "Now we are all here because all of our bikes have mysteriously come up missing, and none of us has a clue, but we all know that this has to stop. Agreed?" I asked. "Agreed," they answered unanimously. "Well then, what are we going to do about this outrage?" Then answered Jordan Scott, one of the other kids on our street who heard of my backyard clubhouse meeting and felt this was a meeting he couldn't afford to miss. "I say we do a stakeout like the cops do on TV." "Great idea, Jordan, but how do you think we should go about this stakeout?" I asked. "That I don't know," Jordan answered honestly and lowly. "Hey, that was a good idea still, Jay," Tomboy Sandy added as she took her right foot off a large rock that landscaped the outer trim of my backyard. "How about we take turns watching out our windows at night, and when one gets sleepy, we can call the other, and that person takes his turn," Justin explained, even though the kid was completely crazy if he thought any of our parents would let any of our house phones ring in the wee hours of the night. "Yeah, bright idea, Just. And what happens when that kid doesn't pick up, huh?" added Pink Tea Melvin sarcastically. "Well, I remember one time my uncle told me a story of when he was in the war. He told me the times they would stay up all night taking turns, and if they were a long distance away, they used walkie-talkies to communicate with each other," Left Arm Bobby explained. To be honest, I was a little shocked that the kid actually told us a story that sounded not so far-fetched. "Okay, here's the plan. We're going to do a stakeout, but instead of watching from separate homes, you guys see if your parents will let you spend next Saturday with me here at my place. As for you, Jordan, I need you to give the other kids in the neighborhood a heads up on what we are doing and tell them they can help by looking out their back windows from time to time. The more eyes, the better. Got it?" I said. "No problem, Abe. But what will the signal be?" Jordan asked. "Well, the stakeout will start at 8 p.m. sharp. If the creeps don't take the bait, then I will flash my ultra flashlight at you guys' houses," I finished. "Wait a minute. Did I miss something here? What exactly will the bait be?" "Left arm," Bobby asked. "Well, here's where it gets juicy. We are going to spread a rumor all next week that I have a brand new custom-made bike that would make my mongoose look like a toddler's bicycle. I figure once the word gets out, whoever stole our bikes will come looking to add a brand new custom bike to add to their stolen collection, I finished. Abe, you're a genius, Sandy said. And count me in. I'll ask my mom tonight if I can stay at your place next week, she finished. Cool, us too, said the rest of the gang. Are you sure this will work, Abe? Asked Jordan. Yeah, I'm pretty sure, but we have to work together for it to work. Now, remember, spread the word at school and throughout the entire neighborhood. Abe has a brand new custom bike, I said as the guys were leaving out the side gate of my house. The trap was set, and all week the guys and I were telling everyone we came in contact with that I had a brand new custom-made bike that was simply to die for and that I was going to keep it chained up in my backyard. There were two kids in particular who seemed to take a special interest in our little backyard bike rumor, George Timmel and Jason Carson. They were well-known first-class creeps at our local junior high school. Tomboy Sandy and Pink Tea Melvin got the rumor to their ears at the 7-Eleven down the street from the city park. As Sandy tells it, she and Melvin were talking, bragging on about my made-up bike right in front of Timmel and Carson. She said they asked her all kinds of questions about my mongoose bike, questions that Sandy and Melvin thought were a tad too interesting for their liking. They wanted to know the color, speed, and they even asked if they were sure I had this bike. That to me sent red flags waving up over the clouds, red flags with bright colors splashed over them and fireworks bursting behind them. These were our guys. I could feel it deep in the core of my bones. I could feel it. Now I just had to prove it. Saturday night had come, and my mom and dad had agreed to let the guys spend the night, even though Billy was well enough and lacked fewer germs so that he could join our bike-snatching private detective outfit. Okay guys, this is it. We will take turns watching out for whoever might show their ugly mug past my back gate, and whoever takes first watch, stay alert and don't fall asleep. I repeat, do not fall asleep, I said as we cuddled in my clubhouse. Okay, I'll take first watch. Give me the flashlight, Billy said. The night was upon us, and the stars were shiny and distant. I stared at them through the side window my dad had built in my clubhouse a few years back, when he and I used to sleep in it overnight. The air was soft, clean, and it felt good, really good. All things considered, the time I was having in my clubhouse wasn't so bad, even if it was a little uncomfortable with 6 kids, and the darn thing was only built to hold 4. The clubhouse was nothing special either. It was just 2 sides, a front and back, all of which were smoothed, splinterless slabs of wood my dad had put together. The top piece was about 4 feet by 4 feet in length and width. The guys and I took markers and colored what we thought each other looked like over all 4 boards, just to add our touch, and the front door, if you could call it a front door, was an old extra-large checkered blanket my mother had for years and had no use for it. So that was pretty much it in a nutshell. Nothing special, just a regular clubhouse, or fort, as we often referred to it, sitting on a semi-large patch of grass. Truthfully, I couldn't really explain why I felt that night the way I did, but for some strange reason, being with Sandy, Justin, Billy, Bobby, and Melvin made me feel so alive, so vibrant, so elated to be part of what I thought was very special, the window crashing crew. 6 youths with something we often heard we had none of, a purpose. I believe possibly that is why that particular Saturday night was and will always be special. Or maybe it was the excitement of playing detectives or being outdoors that late at night seeing as how it was about 8:30 when Billy took first watch. Honestly, I didn't know what it was, but I thought that night was simply a blast, and I knew the guys did too. An hour had passed, and Billy's watch was coming to an end. Hey guys, I think I hear someone coming. Get up guys, this is it, Billy whispered nervously. What is it, Billy? What did you hear? Sandy asked, surprised. Just as Billy was about to answer, the checkered old blanket that we used as a front door rose slowly, and I could safely say all of our hearts sank to the deep inners of our stomachs. Did the thieves catch us off guard? Did they realize that no bike was really here and now they're ticked? What are they going to do to us? All those thoughts ran through my head as I saw the blanket rise slower and slower. Billy, you idiot. You fell asleep, didn't you? Left arm, Bobby said quietly. Shh, be quiet, I said in a low, skittish tone. We all started to rise to our knees, preparing, or should I say embracing, whatever it was lifting that blanket door, not knowing it was nothing to worry about, and all of us would soon look like fools, seeing as it was only my dad coming to check on us. Are you guys and gal okay out here all by yourselves? He asked. My heart took a few more fast thumps. Yes, Dad, yes, Mr. Gilmore, we answered at once. Okay, you guys, you all remind me of my youth when my friends and I would sit under the stars and enjoy the night just as you guys are right now. Have fun and get some rest, Dad finished as he walked back into the house, crossing the grass and patio, reaching the back door and looking out the blinds of the sliding window one last time before turning out the kitchen light. Nice going, zombie brain. I'm taking the next watch, Sandy said as she snatched the flashlight from Billy's still shaking hands. Cut him some slack, Sandy. He didn't mean to be a zombie brain, Melvin uttered as he yawned and rolled to his side in his sleeping bag. Hey, you okay, buddy? You can go sleep in my room if you want, I said to Billy as he crawled next to me. No, bro, I'm fine. I just thought it was those thieves and I guess I froze. I didn't mean to, it just kinda happened so fast, he finished. Don't worry about it. The night will be over soon, Billy. Let's get some sleep, guys. You sure you'll be okay, Sandy? Asked Justin. Yeah, don't worry about me. I won't fall asleep. Good night, babies, she answered sarcastically. Sandy. She's a hard one to figure out for a lot of people. From the outside looking in, she just seemed hard and sort of mean. But when you get to really know her, you'll see her as I did. It's just all a front. Deep inside, Sandy is a caring, loving, sensitive girl who covers all that up by pretending to be this tough girl. Little baby, shaking like a leaf, as if something was actually out there, she mumbled under her breath. Yet it was just loud enough for Billy to hear. Hey, you take watch after Sandy. How about it? I asked. Sure thing, Abe. Make sure you wake me, Sandy, Justin said, as he lay flat on his stomach in his sleeping bag with his arms crossed under his face. Wait, guys, before we forget, what weapons did you guys bring? Bobby asked. Well, I brought my dad's nunchucks, answered Billy. Like you're really going to use them, Tomboy Sandy mocked. Lay off, Sandy, Pink Tea Melvin said in defense of Billy. I took a pair of brass knuckles that my uncle bought home from North Korea, said Left Arm Bobby. He indeed had a silver pair of brass knuckles that were about 3 sizes too big for his hands, but we all highly doubted that his uncle brought them from Korea, a cheesy pawn shop downtown more likely, but North Korea, no. Well, take a look at this baby. Double pump action extreme soaker, Pink Tea Melvin added in excitement as he rose from his sleeping bag, grabbing his water gun from his backpack. A water gun? You actually brought a water gun. What you gonna do? Bath them to death? Bobby said as he laughed. Yep, bath them is right, Bobby, my little friend. Only thing is, this isn't water, he finished, smiling. Oh my lord, what did you put in that thing, Melv? I asked. Oh, nothing. Nothing except for my mother's finest bleach, that is. If I shoot this puppy in their eyes, there's going to be a lot of screaming at the Gilmores tonight, Melvin proclaimed, while marveling at his bleach-filled water gun. You're sick, you know that? Billy added, shaking his head in disbelief. Guys, you know my mom doesn't allow any sort of weapons in the house, so I couldn't find anything, and I sure wasn't going to bring anything like a kitchen knife or something, Justin said with disappointment. Hey, it's cool, we understand. No worries, I added, as I placed my hand on Justin's shoulder. I brought something that the bike thieves should be able to recognize, a bike wrench, and I can't wait for them to show so they can meet face to face with it, I finished, as I slapped the bike wrench into my left palm repeatedly. Wow, Abe. Calm down, cowboy, Melvin said jokingly. Okay, so out with it. How about it, Sandy? Justin demanded. Out with what? Sandy replied smartly. Come on, Sandy, show us your weapon, Bobby said impatiently. By weapon, do you mean this? Sandy said as she pulled out a 32-inch extended barrel Easton baseball bat with a leather grip handle. Wow, we all sighed together. Yeah, boys, Tomboy Sandy's gonna bust her some backyard bike snatching heads, she finished, looking up at the bat that she pulled from her sleeping bag. Remember, only use this stuff as a last resort. First, we reason with them, got it? Come on, guys, got it? I explained, looking over the whole window-crashing crew. More like first resort, Tomboy Sandy stated under her breath. Sandy, we all yelled at once. An hour had once again come and gone, without any assurance that we actually set a legit trap. You're up, just. Get up and stay up, Tomboy Sandy jawed, as she slightly with the back of her right hand tapped Justin on his side. Okay, I'm up, geez Louise, Peter, Betty, and Steve, Justin complained as he took the flashlight from Sandy. We can count on you, right? Asked Tomboy Sandy as she lay on her back inside her sleeping bag, looking towards Justin and adjusting her ponytail. Piece of cake, don't worry about me. You just be ready if the bike burglars show, he finished. I overheard the two conversing, and that prompted me to stay awake. Besides, I couldn't sleep well anyhow. My mother was right when she told me that there was nothing like sleeping in your own bed. Now I could really see what she meant. I felt overly crowded and uncomfortable. Waking up every hour to hear kid detectives switch places on a late-night stakeout wasn't helping my sleeplessness. I crawled out of my sleeping bag and sat next to Justin, who was sitting up on his knees, looking out the door, blanket. Hey, why are you still up? He asked, as he looked slightly towards me, out the corner of his eyes, making sure not to take his attention completely off the side of my house. I remember thinking how serious Justin was about this assignment that we all complied with, but that's just what type of kid Justin was and always would be, I guess. He took even the smallest of things seriously, a real rule-abider, you might say. If the teacher said no talking or chewing gum in class, Justin did neither. If his mom said homework before play and TV off by 8, Justin did homework before he played, and his TV was off by 8 sharp. No exceptions. I guess that's why I asked him to do one of the later watches, because I knew he could and would make a great watchman on the wall, so to speak. Couldn't sleep for some reason. See anything? I asked. Nope. Do you think I should flash the signal? It's getting pretty late, and the kids watching out their windows probably are as sleepy as we are right now, Justin explained. No, not yet. Besides, it's Saturday. They can stay up a little late on Saturday, and anyway, they knew what the deal was, I said. Do you think they will show? You know, the bad guys, the ones Justin was about to ask until I cut him off on account of a really creepy sound I heard coming from the side of my house. Shh. What was that? I said, as I raised my left arm up halfway from my torso, turning my head towards where I thought I heard the suspicious noise. I didn't hear anything, Justin whispered nervously in a shrinking voice. I could tell by the alarming look that his face carried that he was very much frightened, yet I must admit I also had a chill run down my bones. Crack, crack, crack. I could hear small twigs breaking as the steps were getting closer and closer to my side gate. Oh snap! Oh my goodness. They're here, Abe, Justin whispered even lower, but this time he seemed even more nervous. Sandy, get up, get up. Melvin, Billy, left arm, get up. This is it, they're here. I pronounced as hard and yet quiet as I could without letting the bike embezzlers know anyone was waiting for them. The whole gang jumped up at once. This is it. Let's let them make the first move. Then we will attack, I prompted. Attack? What do you mean attack? We're not going to actually fight these guys, are we? Asked Billy, dismayed at what I was saying. Shh, here they come, Bobby said. Then 2 tall, dark, shadowy figures emerged from the side of my house. I saw a long, skinny hand sliding the latch in an upward position, and then that same hand slightly and extremely cautiously opened my backyard gate. It screeched a bit as it opened, and when it did, the hand that was forcing it open immediately stopped. It paused for a moment, then resumed to opening the gate completely, and that's when we finally got to see the owners of the tall, dark shadows and the skinny, long hand. It was George Timmel and his his sidekick, Jason Carson. It was easily noticeable that they were on a put-that-old-mongoose-to-shame custom-made bike theft mission. I knew it was those creeps, I just knew it. Let's get 'em, said Tomboy Sandy as she jumped to her feet and grabbed her 32-inch extended barrel Easton baseball bat that she kept in her sleeping bag. No, wait. Flash the signal to let the others know, Billy said as he looked towards Justin, who was staring at me. Do it, I yelled. Do it, now. Justin flashed the signal into the windows of the houses that were closest to mine. signifying to the other kids whose bikes were stolen that we were under attack. It was just like I had thought it in my head. The dark windows suddenly were filled with flashlights responding to ours, bright beams of light bursting through the window panes, setting off a chain reaction from one house to the next. Kids were shining lights all through the neighborhood. George and Jason were caught dead in the act of prowling, trapped smack dab in the middle of my backyard with nowhere to go. "Don't you guys dare move or I'll make lunch meat out of your skulls," Sandy yelled as she ran upon George and Jason quickly without any hesitation. "Lunch meat. Wow, good one, Sandy. I like, Melvin added as he made his way behind the two thieves, pointing his bleach-filled extreme soaker towards their heads. "You guys ever been sprayed in the eyes with bleach? I haven't, but I'm willing to bet that it won't be a fun experience. He said, poking both George and Jason in the back. George looked at Jason as if to say, "How did we get caught in this mess?" Jason, on the other hand, had a look of, "Oh crap, I'm about to pee myself. Oh, geez, why didn't you guys run? I was hoping to use my uncle's 100% stainless steel Korean-made brass knuckles on at least one of you guys," Bobby said, looking up at George, almost taunting him. "I bet these puppies would bust you guys up real good. So good you'll think twice before you steal another kid's bike." "We got him. We really got him. I can't believe it," Billy stated in amazement under his breath. "Now what are we going to do with them, Abe?" asked Justin. "I say we beat them, then ask them where our bikes are, and before they answer, beat them again just for kicks," Sandy suggested. George and Jason stood there in my backyard with stunned looks on their faces, both of them looking around, almost scanning the area for an escape route. They couldn't believe what was going on. It was like they were starstruck. It sort of reminded me of the girl in a horror flick who's backed in a corner while the killer walks as slow as possible, and you're wondering why she isn't at least attempting to run away. But she doesn't. She just stands there and cries. Well, that's exactly what George and Jason did, minus the crying, of course. "Where's our bikes, creeps? I'm only going to ask once," I asked bitterly, walking up to both of them. "Yeah, where's our bikes, muscle brains?" a kid yelled out from an open window of a neighboring house. "What bikes, shrimp? We don't know anything about no bikes," George answered, being a wise guy. I guess the excitement of being caught was getting under his skin. "Oh no, so what the heck were you two creepazoids doing in Abe's backyard?" Billy asked, standing behind Sandy, who was still holding her bat to their heads. "Yeah, what? You guys take a wrong turn or something?" "Oh, let me guess. You two must have forgotten your way to Loser Valley," Bobby said, pointing his brass knuckles at Jason's face. Sweat beads were dripping from Jason's forehead at a rapid rate, and he had a look on his mug that said, "I'm about to puke." "I think we'd better confess, George," blurted Jason. "Be quiet, you idiot. Don't listen to him. He doesn't know what he's saying," George explained. "Besides, what's stopping us from running right now? We could ditch these losers easily," George said to Jason, yet looking sideways towards me. "What's stopping you?" Let's see. A pair of brass knuckles, a water gun filled with bleach, one solid metal wrench, a pair of nunchucks, and this here, 32-inch baseball bat. And if that isn't enough to ruin your day, just take a look up, and you'll see dozens of very ticked kids whose, if I'm not mistaken, bikes you just so happen to have stolen. So, go ahead. Run, please. I'm begging you to," Tomboy Sandy said, in an extremely irritated tone, waving her bat back and forward. Just then, my dad came busting out the backsliding door. "What on God's green earth is going on out here?" he said with his eyes wide open. "Abraham, explain now." "Well, these are the two guys who were stealing the bikes from the kids around the neighborhood, Dad and the gang, and I caught them in our backyard tonight trying to..." I finished before I told completely on myself. Sandy and Melvin quickly dropped their weapons of choice to their sides, as did the others. "George Timmel, Jason Carson, I know both of your fathers. What are you guys thinking? Is this true?" They looked at each other momentarily without saying anything. Then Jason Carson bowed his head and said, "Yes, Mr. Gilmore, it's true." "Oh boy, you've got to be kidding me. You boys get home right away, and I want every single bike you two boys took, understood?" "Yes, Mr. Gilmore," they answered. "Now go, and I'll be phoning your fathers first thing in the morning, so you'd better get home and confess while you can," Dad added. The two didn't answer. They just took off in the darkness of the night like two rats, caught, shamed, and very afraid. "Come here, son," my dad called to me. "Earlier, you said that they were trying to do something, but you stopped. So tell me exactly what they were doing in our backyard when George and Jason had already stolen your bike a week ago." "Okay, Dad. The gang started a rumor around the neighborhood that I had gotten a brand new bike that would put my old one to shame, and we sort of set this whole thing up to catch the bike thieves," I finished. Did you guys know that it was George and Jason who were stealing your bikes?" "No, we didn't." "That was very dangerous, son. You guys could have been hurt. Never do anything like this again without me, your mother, and knowing, okay?" "Okay, Dad, but I hope there's not a next time," I said jokingly. My father brushed his hand over my head and called the rest of the gang over. "What you guys did here tonight was brave and commendable. I'm proud of you all, but as I told Abe, never do it again without letting us adults in on it. Understood?" "Yes, sir," we all said together. "I'll tell you one thing. I feel much safer with you kids around, good Lord," he said, chuckling to himself as he walked in the house, shutting the sliding door behind him. I turned to the window, crashing crew, and for a moment we just all looked at one another, dazed, vibrant, full of ourselves, you might say. Not one of us said a word. We only stood there, and our eyes gazed at each other in awe of what we had just done, knowing full well that we, a band of wild oddballs, 5 scrawny guys and 1 tomboy, had just solved a mystery on our own. Yeah, you might say that we were extremely full of ourselves. "Abe, we did it! We did it!" Billy yelled as he jumped in the air, nunchucks slapping him in the right side of his back as he rocketed in the night air over and over in full-blown excitement. "Yeah, Bobby!" Tomboy Sandy shouted, joining in on the leaping as she and Billy grabbed one another's shoulders, continuing their jubilee. "The window crashers are in the house, watch out, howled Pink Tea Melvin as he housed his sodium hypochlorite-filled extreme soaker on his shoulder, walking towards the clubhouse. "I just can't believe it. I honestly can't believe we actually caught George and Jason," I just added in awe of our recent accomplishment. "Well, I happen to know we were going to bust those creeps all along, and I wasn't a bit afraid," Left Arm Bobby announced. "Oh yeah, right," Billy laughed. We were so caught in the joyful bliss of the night that we'd totally forgotten about the dozen neighborhood kids who were also watching the streets from their windows until all of a sudden we heard cheers from house to house. Kids were opening their windows that they were watching guard from and shouting with one accord, "Crashers, crashers, crashers." What a sight to see, what a sound to behold. This was living. I remember those thoughts were flashing through my mind all at once, and all I could do was rejoice in the moment that was us, the window crashing crew.